everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach. As always, I'm joined by Christian Garcia.
What up?
What up? Thank you guys for listening, watching, and subscribing. We do appreciate that. Make sure you click the little subscribe icon down at the bottom or follow icon, what have you. We do appreciate all of those, and make sure you tell your friends about the show. We do appreciate that as well. All of our information, social media, and the like can be found at nerdswithfriendspodcast.com. And if you want to become a patron and help support the show in any way possible, check out patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. It's the best way to help us continue making this content. We do appreciate all of our patrons. All righty then. Christian, what's...
See.
You know I don't speak French.
Before we get into nerdy confessions, do you get, like, dude, I think it's because of the mask. I get a lot of fucking, like, flakes on my face. Does that happen to you with your beard?
You know, it's been weird. I do get a little flaky beard sometimes, especially when the weather changes, you know, when it goes from being hot to cold, like the air dries out. And, you know, I got to make sure I condition and stuff.
Do you condition? Okay, maybe that's where I'm fucking up. So I was getting a lot of, like, this just flakes, and then I was like, I'm going to shave to see what's going on. I was just fucking covered with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, I think it has to do with, like, the weather changing and, you know, also I think just us getting older. I think our skin just is
fucking dying.
Our skin is just dying a little bit at a time. I've been getting, like, really, like, dried out, like, forehead lately. And I was like, what the fuck? I had to buy, you know, like, facial moisturizer. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, so when I took the mask off before the show, I'm like, gotta rub this shit off because fucking people watch this on YouTube.
Yeah, I like to rub it off right before the show, too.
Yeah, it makes us more relaxed.
Helps loosen me up.
Anyway, nerdy confessions.
Yeah, let's do some nerdy confessions where we confess the things that make us nerds. Christian, aside from your flaky beard.
I know, right?
What's going on?
Don't look at it, people. On YouTube.
Don't look at it. I'm hideous. Look away.
I just started watching American Horror Story, and it's good. I didn't realize it was good.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be really good.
It's really good. I fucked up. Netflix tricked me. Or maybe it was my dumbass, too. Mm-hmm. So I just saw episode 1, and I started watching, and I was like, man, the production value on this show is really good for this pilot episode. And I was like, oh, man, like...
You're watching, like, season 5 or something?
Fucking season 9.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I was like 5 episodes into it. And then I was like, oh, man. I was like, well, and then I asked someone, I was like, do I have to watch them in order? And they were like, no, you just watch this per season. And then I was talking to the missus, and she was like, no, you have to watch from the beginning. So I stopped, like, episode 5 on season 9, which is really good. Just started season 1, episode 1. It's still really good, but I was just shocked at how good the show was. And it's my fault for not watching it. But do you ever get someone who has, like, shite opinions?
Yeah, totally.
And they tell you,
I
like,
do a podcast with one guy.
I know. That's why he never watches the movies I fucking tell him. So there's this one person who's like, oh, you should watch American Horror Story. He's like, I'm definitely not watching that shit.
Yeah.
If you liked it. I was like, I'm for sure. If you think that's good horror, I'm not watching that shit.
Yeah.
And then I just ran out of shows to watch. I was like, fuck it. Like, I'll check it out. And I was like, holy shit. The show's really fucking good. You should check it out. I know you're not a big horror fan, but you should check it out.
Yeah, I've definitely thought about it a couple of times. I remember one time my sister was watching it, and I came home one day, and I was like, and my sister and my mom were both watching it, and I was like, what is this? They're like, oh, it's American Horror Story. It's really good. I'm like, okay. And in the episode, like Evan Peters, you know, Quicksilver from
X-Men
and WandaVision. He played like this lobster guy because I think it was like a freak show.
You were probably on the freak show. I've heard of that one. I've obviously.
And he starts like finger blasting a lady with his lobster claw hands.
Oh, you can't watch that with your mom.
And I was like, why am I watching this?
That's definitely something you watch on your own. And,
yeah. I was like, what episode was this? What season?
Yeah. That's the one you beat off to and never talk about it with anyone.
Like, anyone else for going to Red Lobster? Just craving those Cheddar Bay biscuits.
I don't know why. All of a sudden, I want some crustaceans in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, this is weird.
Actually, and that was one thing I was going to mention was season 1, he's so baby. He's like a child.
Little kid.
It's hella weird.
Did you see that the like latest season is aliens and
that's
vampires?
actually I think why I got excited about it. I love alien shit and I love horror, and I was like, okay, let me start watching this show.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested to check it out. I'm definitely looking for new stuff to watch. I did just watch Ted Lasso. Have you seen that one at all?
No, because it's the Apple, right?
Yeah, it is.
I haven't.
The Apple Plus.
I'm gonna have to borrow that Apple thing.
Well, I got it. We can talk after. But it's really good, positive show. Like, and Jason Sudeikis is hilarious. He just won an Emmy for Best Actor in a Comedy Series for it, I think. And then I started watching that C show with Jason Momoa too, where they're all blind in the future.
Yeah, that's also on the Apple one. So.
Yeah. I've kind of exhausted Netflix and HBO Max for the time being, so had to search elsewhere. But they're pretty good. My nerdy confession is I found a new thing to nerd out about, and it's a very specific lane. You obviously know that I play guitar.
They say katana. I was like,
I also play katana when I play Mortal Kombat. No, I play guitar, and one of the things with guitars is a lot of times you will add different effect pedals. Where you step on this button on the ground and it changes the sound of your guitar. Yeah, it's like distortion or wah wah or whatever, right?
wah wah.
Wah 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 wah. Like
I
that.
just like the name. Wah wah.
Yeah, and they're called wah wah pedals or wah pedals. Anyway, so I've always been a fan of effects pedals and things like that, but I recently decided to take the plunge and start learning how to build them.
What?
Yeah, and so I found there's places online that will sell either kits to build a complete pedal, or there's other places that will sell PCBs or printed circuit boards of different effects. And once you get the PCB, it gives you like a shopping list of resistors, transistors, and switches and stuff to buy. And then you fill them in, solder them all in, and then you can build your own pedal.
So you got one of those little things you always see in the movies when scientists are fucking with computer chips.
Yeah, they're like soldering stuff together. Mm-hmm.
Don't burn yourself with that shit.
Yeah, I already have.
It's fine if you burn your hands. Don't burn your mouth because you're the mouthpiece for this show.
Yeah. I should not be putting it anywhere near my mouth.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it's really interesting.
The only reason why I say that is you shouldn't put your brushes near your mouth, and you still do that shit.
Yeah, well, that's fine. all the pro painters do, so it's fine.
Oh, this has chemicals in it that shouldn't be in my body?
Yeah, it's fine. They're water soluble. They just come out in my urine.
It's like I'm 75% water. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's really I've really done like a deep dive on learning how to do it. At first I bought 2 kits where they're basically clones of popular pedals, and
so you bought a replica.
Well, they're not replicas necessarily. They're clones. Like inside a pedal is a circuit board. If you copy that specific circuit with the same value resistors, you get a clone of a pedal. So like that Klon Centaur one that I told you about, the $5,000 one.
It still sounds illegal, but all right.
Yeah, it's
like, no, China said it was fine and we're good. Like, and we're fine.
No, and that's one thing that's really weird about the pedal industry. Almost all pedals are clones of some sort of take on a bunch of older pedals, which is really crazy. And that's one of the reasons why that Klon Centaur that we talked about several episodes ago was such a revolutionary thing. It was an original pedal. It was not based off of like the Ibanez tube screamer from the 80s, or I'm sorry, 70s or 80s.
Doesn't matter. They don't know what you're talking about.
They don't know. Yeah. All my 3 guitar listeners out there are like freaking out. It wasn't like a take on an old one. It was an actual original one, which is why it was so popular. But like companies have been founded on, taking an older circuit, modifying it in 1 or 2 ways, and then releasing it as their own pedal, which is really crazy.
I feel like there's some copyright shit that's laws that people are breaking.
Yeah, but at the same time, I guess it's hard to copyright just a circuit signal path. And if you do, it would have to be exactly the same. So if you modify it, then it's new.
All our patent lawyers, just hit us up, let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know the legality of it. Or don't, because I don't want pedal companies to stop making some of these pedals. yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I bought these 2 kits. One is a Klon Centaur style overdrive, and one was a delay. And I went through the whole Klon overdrive one, and then I plugged it in for the first time, and it was
didn't work.
Super complicated, and it doesn't really work.
Don't electrocute yourself.
No, it's fine. It's only 9 volts, so it'll only tingle a little bit. But yeah, it's very, very strange. But also I'm like learning how to solder. I've never been a good solderer. I've only done a couple things here and there to like fix things.
If you could paint fucking minis,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can handle that.
Yeah, for sure. And by the end of it, I was getting better. You know what I mean? It's like I'll post pictures online of all the different resistors and stuff it has on it. And towards the end of it, I was getting much better. But I think some of those beginning ones maybe weren't done correctly, and that's probably why it broke. Like the light comes on, but it blinks, and when your guitar is plugged in, you don't hear any guitar sound. It just goes. And I'm like, that's not right. So I decided until I do the delay one, which is a very complicated board, I went back and bought 2 much simpler ones, just simple fuzz pedals, which have like maybe like 15 components instead of like 75.
So no wah-wah.
No wah-wahs are, that's much too complicated for me for now. But I am excited to try those out and hopefully get into it. Maybe I'll make a Nerds with Friends signature guitar pedal.
Yeah.
Sell it all the guitar
We're working
stores.
on a beer, by the way.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We'll see.
We are working on a beer collaboration, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so new nerdy avenue. It's like I can't stop collecting nerdy hobbies, It's like between mini painting. I started doing golf again with a couple buddies, and guitar
It's funny
stuff.
you just got lighter in skin when you said golf.
Yeah, it's funny. It was my Latin buddy who got me back into it.
He was your fucking caddy. Let's just be fucking honest.
No, he's way better.
He's
at
not
golf
your
than me.
he's not your friend just because he follows you along the fucking the grass. You got paid to do that.
He's so nice. He carries my stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't even ask. You just did it.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to take a quick little break to hear a word from our sponsors. Then when we come back, we'll keep this conversation going and figure out something to talk about. We'll be right back. And we're back. Well, it's been a interesting year, and there's been a lot of news of conventions coming out. Former guest Fabienne was just recently at Gen Con.
We should try to go one year.
Yeah, I'd be down to go. I said a couple episodes ago, I've already got a hotel room for Adepticon. We could go to that.
I want to go and spend way too much money on dice.
Fuck yes. Yeah, it's and then I think tickets go on sale the 25th of September, which I think is a Saturday, for that special edition Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, I just got an email about that.
It'd be interesting to see how that thing goes. It's if you guys hadn't heard, Comic-Con in San Diego or Comic-Con International is normally it's like the 3rd weekend in July. Obviously that did not happen this year with the shutdowns and whatnot.
What shutdowns?
Shut up.
What are you talking about?
And so it got pushed to next year. But since things kind of started loosening up a little bit, they were like, hey, let's try a small in-person get-together. And so they're doing Comic-Con Special Edition, quote unquote, for our audio listeners. And it's going to be an in-person event, obviously much smaller. So I don't expect it's going to be anywhere near the size of normal Comic-Con.
I don't think big studios are going to be there. I don't think Marvel's going to be there.
No, I think it's going to be, one thing that might be cool is it's probably going to be similar to like where Comic-Con started.
It'll be probably like WonderCon or something.
Probably not even that big. I would doubt it would be even as big as
I'm talking about when WonderCon was here in San Francisco.
Sure,
where it was
sure.
Not as big until it moves to wherever the fuck.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to see a lot more like, artist alley type stuff and actual comic book stores involved. I'm sure they'll have some merchandising people there and maybe a few celebrity type things here, but it's definitely not going to be, as big of an event as normal Comic-Con. But yeah, it should be kind of interesting. The one thing that's weird is that it's Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, who's doing that?
Yeah.
What fucking asshole's not going to come on Thanksgiving?
Exactly. And I'm working in retail, and that's an impossible weekend to get off because it's the busiest weekend ever. So you're going to alienate all retail people, and then also anyone who wants to spend the time with their family, like unless you live in San Diego, but maybe they're doing that on purpose to kind of
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Less people go. I mean, you don't want the big ass convention center filled, so I guess.
Right. Should be kind of interesting.
I don't even think it's going to happen next year for Comic-Con.
Really?
At the rate that people are not getting the vaccination, that shit's not going to fucking happen.
Well, by this time next year, we'll all need booster shots anyway. So
For the people that got the vaccine.
yeah, exactly.
But, also, well, no, we're not all the same. It's not all comic book.
It's about time someone pointed it out, Christian.
Yeah.
We're different.
I would say, like, maybe, I feel like nerdy people are smarter. No, there's some, like, the bat stands and the fucking, like, that's not my whatever,
Oh, we on our last episode where we talked about, like, what was our last episode? Oh, not the one that just came out last week, which released today that we're recording this, but the one previous where we talked about, like, Marvel What If and, like, the multiverse and things like that, and
Yes.
Shang-Chi. We got a lot of those right-wing answers when I was like, have you guys seen Shang-Chi? Are you excited to watch it? One guy was like, I was going to watch it until, the actor decided to go and become all political and put, and
What the fuck did he do?
I don't know.
What the fuck did he do?
Well, I mean, he was born Asian, so maybe that's what he meant.
I don't like that they changed Shang-Chi into being an Asian character. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. And then another guy posted that he was like, I'm not going to watch it because the actor loves pedophiles.
What the fuck?
And I was like, what? I'm like, that seems like a very specific, like, thing to point out.
No,
right?
but that's the thing. Is like, all right, man. Well, like, make your point. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
so I researched that.
all right,
I had to type in Simu Liu pedophile.
all right. I'm
I'm
ready.
I'm probably put on some sort of list. Okay.
No. Explain. Go on.
Basically, what happened was he played. He played in some part in some movie or show or whatever. He played a pedophile character, right?
He played a pedophile.
Played a pedophile character.
Okay.
And he was quoted in some article saying, like, hey, after researching this role, and I did a lot of research with it, I know, and I'm like, shut your mouth, Simu Liu, don't say anything. But here's what he said, and I guess I can understand what he was saying, but he said, actually, I'll just quote him directly, so it doesn't sound like I'm
gonna splice this audio and make it seem like you said that
yeah.
shit.
How do you spell pedophile? Okay.
Like you don't know.
Yeah. So basically he it was on like a Reddit Ask Me Anything, blah, 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 blah. He said, he did a significant amount of research and he said, quote, from a biological standpoint, it's no different than being gay. A small, and if you just stop there, that's what's bad. Like you should
For people listening,
you should bury that in.
For people listening to the podcast, I fucking hit my head in my palm. Okay, go on.
He goes on to say, it's a small mutation in the genome that determines our sexual preferences. Okay, fair enough. Depending on what area of the world you were born and come from, it may also have been perfectly acceptable thing to act on those urges. Ugh.
Wait, one more time?
Depending on the area in the world you were born in and what time, it may also have been perfectly acceptable thing to act on those urges.
Historically accurate, sure.
Yeah. He's not wrong. I just don't know if I ever would have said it.
No, but where he fucked up was
Yeah.
where he compared pedophiles to gay people.
Right. I mean, I see the point he's saying, right?
No, you don't.
No,
This podcast does not see the point of what he's saying.
No, because if you think about it, and this is the problem where it's this whole topic is tied up in a very emotional thing, right? Yeah, it's obviously pedophilia is wrong, but a lot of those people, whether you're gay, straight, or apparently a pedophile, you don't have control over what your urges are, but you do have control over your actions. And I think that's what he says in this next part. Quote, now we all know that taking advantage of minors is wrong, disgusting, and vile even. But with the exception of Germany, we are going about it completely the wrong way. I don't know what Germany's doing.
I don't know.
It's the first time Germany's been right about anything. But yeah, so I don't know.
The first part is the very fucked up damning part.
Yes.
Which he shouldn't have just never fucking said
Yeah,
it.
I mean, that right there is headline bait again. You want me to read it again?
Yes.
Just so everyone can make sure.
One more time. Say
Quote,
with your chest out.
From a biological standpoint, it's no different than being gay. Speaking of pedophilia. Come on,
So
Simu
bad.
Liu. This is from 2015.
I'm actually surprised more people are not talking about this.
Yeah. Well, the guy who commented on our episode definitely brought it up. But, I mean, again,
When was this article printed?
This article was September 20th, 2021.
Jesus.
Which is just a few days ago. But that whole quote that he had was from 2015 on a Reddit. Ask Me Anything, AMA. But yeah, it's one of those things. I understand.
No, you don't.
I understand what he was trying to say, but it's obviously not a great way of saying it. I don't think the guy should be canceled for saying it. It was just, you're on Reddit. It's like maybe
No
you're
one's
not
going to see this shit.
Yeah, maybe no one's going to dig this up later when I have a very successful. And
You know what I would like
career.
to see is him defending it. It'd be very.
Ugh. No, I'm sure Disney fucking said, "You shut your mouth. We will handle this."
Yeah, we will bury the fuck out of this.
Yeah, we're going to buy Reddit and erase it.
Has Aquafina said any weird shit?
I'm sure she has. She's a fucking comedian. But yeah, so it's always funny when we post episodes like that and we get random out of nowhere.
What I don't like is this commenter try to make it seem like somehow we're at fault for that shit.
Right.
You know how distant we are from what the fuck he said?
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking producer in this guy's movies. That had nothing to do with the pedophilia movie he made.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there's going to be movies made about pedophiles out there. Some actors have to play them, right? But yeah, I like Simu Liu, but that's definitely not.
I don't stand by that comment.
Yeah, it's definitely not something I would have said.
No,
You know what I'm
not
saying?
at all.
Yeah, I would say
Maybe in a comedy bit in a comedy club or something where people know you're fucking joking or some shit. But even then,
yeah, I think maybe I would go along the lines of I did a lot of research on the role and stuff, and it definitely made it seem like a more complex affliction than I once thought beforehand. Fine.
I just never would have talked about it. Fuck yeah, I did the movie. So fucking what? What are you still talking about? It's out. Go watch it.
I fucking hate kids.
It's the worst.
They're the worst. I hate them. They're all sticky all the time. They didn't even eat a popsicle or anything. What's it from?
Just secrete this grease from there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. We get random right wing. We also had one that I thought was actually pretty clever. Where the guy's like I'm like, are you gonna see Shang-Chi? He's like, no. I'm the MCU SHEU is dead to me.
The MCU?
Yeah, the MCU because they're having a bunch of female empowerment.
Oh god.
Things like Captain Marvel, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. We appreciate all of our listeners, even the misogynistic ones.
As long as you like and subscribe.
Hey,
I don't like your ideas, but hey,
yeah,
keep listening.
As long as we're playing in the background, you go ahead and think all your hateful thoughts. I love it. But we also had some very nice comments. I don't want to downplay those. It's just not as fun to talk about them.
MCU.
Dude, that's pretty clever.
I thought you meant like Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah, if it was she like SHI.
Yeah, I thought that's what you meant.
That's pretty cool. MCU.
MCU.
That's the new one.
I don't like all these Asians in these movies.
I don't like all these Asians. Yeah, it's always interesting to see, like, you're right, in the nerd world, there's all kinds of folks out there. You know? And I think, we talked a little bit about on our toxic masculinity episode about how, there are people out there who don't want to see any change to any character ever.
I don't get it.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. It's like,
You imagine if Batman's goofy ass stayed the way he was in the beginning,
Oh,
or like,
that would be the worst.
Like, dude, just the change is what makes things better.
yeah, and I'm not, I'm definitely not for, like, bastardizing characters or anything, but a little modernization goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Shang-Chi's dad's name was Fu Manchu, and he looked like freaking what's his face from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was.
Where he had the mustache only grew from the side. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
In the
It
middle.
just snaked down, and he wore like the top knot.
It was the reverse Hitler, is what it was.
It was a Fu Manchu, is what it was. Yeah. So I think a little modernization goes a long way.
Like, I mean, I don't know if we talked about it on air, but like, I don't think they're gonna do the name of the dragon, was it Fing Fang?
Fing Fang Foom.
That's pretty bad.
I mean,
That's not gonna work.
but that's not. I guess maybe it's making light of, like, an Asian dialect or something, but there's no way there's anyone actually named Fing Fang Foom.
I don't
right?
think that's the problem. Is it sounds like someone was just mocking
Mocking
Asian
it?
names.
Yeah, maybe they'll, like, it'll be like a nickname or something. I don't know.
And I know, like, well, he's an alien. He didn't know he was being an asshole. Like, he didn't know he was being racially insensitive.
Yeah, you landed in China. He's like, oh, what, all these guys are calling me Fing Fang Foom. What the fuck is this? Just all mad and racist.
Yeah,
He's a racist dragon.
best kind.
Yeah, remember that Fly the Concord song? I'll be the racist dragon.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, the Fly the Concords had a song about
That's fucking awesome. I didn't know.
That's great. I'll be the racist dragon.
I feel like only those two guys can make a song like that and get away with it.
God, we need some more content from those guys.
Yeah, well, they're too busy making movies.
I love them so much. They're so great. And Jermaine's producing that What We Do in the Shadows show on FX.
That's a great show too. Mm-hmm. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then Brett's too busy making and winning awards for Muppet fucking musicals.
Yeah, he's an Academy Award winning musician now after the Muppet movie, which is crazy. That show that they did was so good.
It was underrated. It was not appreciated.
Yeah, like it's going to go down as one of those movies that's like or shows that's like a cult classic that just gains popularity. Like, the music was so good, the characters were so
You
good.
could be a part-time model.
Yeah, so good. And they're just broke ass apartment.
Those lyrics were fucking hilarious. Like, you're the hottest girl on the street,
Yeah.
depending on the street.
Yeah, exactly. The most beautiful girl in the room. If you guys have not checked out any of the Flight of the Conchords stuff, it's great. They're the second best folk comedy duo from New Zealand.
The second best?
That's like they're like, yeah, we're the second best.
Oh.
Obviously, they're the best. They're the best folk comedy duo ever, except for Simon and Garfunkel. Their name is just comedy gold.
Did I ever tell you I met Brett?
Yeah, you said he came into, like, the movie theaters.
No, it was a coffee shop I used to work at, and he was the nicest fucking dude.
I feel like everyone from New Zealand is.
He was the most chillest guy. I went on my lunch break. I was sitting in the same, like, area he was sitting, and, like, oh, actually, before I felt like such an idiot. Like, he came up and ordered coffee, and I was like, anyone ever tell you look like Brett from Flight of the Conchords? He's like, yeah, it's me. And I was just like, shut the fuck up. And he's like, no, yeah, it's me. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, nah. And he was super nice. And then I went to go
It's
sit
like
on.
Literally everyone tells me that because I am him.
You know, he was super chill about it. And then, like, he was eating breakfast with his daughter. And then he was just like, do you want to just come sit over here? And I was like, yeah. And I just sat with him and had a full conversation. I'm like, where's Jermaine? He's like, oh, he was partying. He's like, I'm a dad. He was out partying. He's like, he's not,
Nice.
He's probably still asleep. And I was like, dude, I want to go check out the show. He's like, oh, that was our last show. He's like, I was like, fuck. And, like, yeah, I took a picture with him. He's a super fucking nice guy.
Yeah, it's always nice when you meet someone like that who could be a total dick and they're just not, you know? And I think after years of going to Comic-Con and stuff, I've had enough social interactions with, like, famous people. like Robert Kirkman. We've both met him.
Yeah.
And he was who wrote The Walking Dead, if you guys are unaware. And he's just like the nicest, friendliest dude out there.
Well, I mean, when I saw him, he wasn't doing the fucking Walking Dead. Well, he was doing the Walking Dead, but the show wasn't out.
Right.
And it was at WonderCon, and that's when I was trying to do a fucking indie comic with a friend who should not be named. And then, yeah, and then like I was bagging up my stuff, and I was like having trouble, and he's like, "Oh, do you need help?" I'm like, and I saw it was Robert Kirkman. I was like, "No, it's okay." He's like, "No, I got it. Help
Yeah, you want to put your name on this comic?
Yeah. Help me lug up my stuff and like help me take it on the elevator, and like he didn't have to fucking do that. He's just super nice guy.
Yeah, I actually met him my first day of my first Comic-Con.
Nice.
Like I walked into the dealer hall for the first time, and I'm like, oh, there's so much everywhere. And I look over, and it's Robert Kirkman. And I look at it for a second, and he turns and looks at me immediately, like he was drawn to me. And he was like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Oh my God, are you Robert Kirkman?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Can I get a picture?" It's like, "Yeah." And so like take a picture. I'm like, "That's so cool, man."
Now,
like,
was this after Walking Dead? The show, not the comic.
I don't know. I'd have to look up the dates. It might have been like the first season, maybe.
Because now I feel like it.
Now it's crazy.
Now,
I'm sure.
Not that I think he's a jerk. I'm pretty sure he's the same person. But now it's like you're gonna have people probably blocking.
Exactly.
You
I think now that more people know what he looks like, and that's the thing. Being like a famous comic book writer, not a lot of people know what you look like. Being a famous author, like George R. R. Martin, probably used to be able to walk down the street no problem.
Now everyone sees the silly little hat and everyone.
And they're like, "Where's the next book, you old man?
he just
Give it to me."
Then he just goes back to his dungeon and doesn't come out.
I'm sorry. Him and Patrick Rothfuss go and jerk each other off while not writing books. I'm sorry if I get a little bitter about that.
I'm actually wondering if he'll get around to finishing it. I don't know.
I think he probably won't. Just judging from
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I don't think he will make it all the way through unless he like has a complete change in work ethic.
He has just one left, right?
No.
No?
No. So the last thing that happened in the Game of Thrones books was Jon Snow getting stabbed by the Night's Watch.
Oh, okay.
Which is like season 3 or 4 of 9. So there's at least it's got to be at least 2 or 3 more books, I'd imagine, unless he like pulls a season 9 and just slaps everything into one novella or something. So I don't know. I can't see him finishing it at the rate he's going.
He's too busy making video games.
And the problem is like, the Wheel of Time had that happen where Robert Jordan died before it finished. And Brandon Sanderson actually came in and finished it. That was like one of the things that really boosted him into superstardom. But I don't think Brandon Sanderson would ever write Game of Thrones. It's too violent, too much sex and stuff.
Yeah, he does. That's the one thing that's for me lacking in his books is
full penetration.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel you. Yeah, I like a little bit of that in my books. I'm sorry. Especially when I'm listening to an audiobook with the windows rolled down and just like looking over at the people in the cars next
just see families with their kids in the back and like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah.
Just like, hey,
she lowered herself onto his rock hard. Oh my God.
That's not what I thought.
Roll
this
them up.
was. No, you just gotta own it. You just gotta look at the kid and like wink, like.
Yeah, that's how you were made. That's what happens. Obviously, there was no magic involved in your birth, you normal ass kid.
Normie.
Yeah, I think it's it's always nice when you meet like one of those celebrity guys who turn out to be totally norms. I met Jon Favreau at Comic-Con. That was a fun one.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
fucking great story.
Oh my God,
I hate you.
It was so good. I love it. I was even wearing an Iron Man hat. He's like, "Hey, cool hat." I'm like, you would know. I love you." What? I'm sorry. And then I was like, "Hey, you should do this show about just one Mandalorian."
Yeah.
And then it would be really cool if like his sidekick was like a baby version of Yoda. Just throwing that out there.
And I was like, dude, make sure to have the black saber and put Giancarlo in there. I'm just saying.
Yeah. This guy, he's going to be in the show called Breaking Bad. It's going to be awesome. And
I think he's going to blow up.
I think he would be the perfect guy. And then there's going to be this other guy who's going to be in this show called Game of Thrones that's like just starting out. And he's going to be really good too.
You never got credit for that.
Yeah, I know. I wrote it down on a cocktail napkin for him. I even like, I penciled out the plot for the first 2 seasons. But what are you gonna do? You know,
Yeah, it is what it is.
should have put my name on it or some contact info. Yeah, I'm hoping that conventions come back. You know, I think it's a good sign that Gen Con and Dragon Con just happened, and you know, I think from at least what I've heard at I've had our friend Dennis went to Dragon Con, and Fabian went to Gen Con.
I want to ask like Fabian how she felt like being there. You know.
Yeah, she was saying that it seemed pretty good. You know, there's definitely people who weren't wearing masks, of course, but there was also a bunch of people, you know, most people were, and they had like, you know, plexi shields and stuff in front of, you know, booths and things like that. So, and then I was looking at, you know, Dennis likes to meet a lot of these celebrities and stuff at these.
They all had the plexi stuff.
Some of them had a really cool one where, you know, it was sideways, you know, like facing the very thinnest side facing the camera. So you could take a picture next to them and you could just barely see a line in between it. So that was kind of cool. You know, you didn't get the glare and all that crap. So it seems like
I bet celebrities love that stuff. They're like, oh, at least I have a barrier between
at least it blocks the smell from all the nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where they probably are perfectly happy with that. But also it's nice to see that, you know, they're still willing to go out and, you know, meet the fans and stuff. A lot of them don't have to, you know, but especially ones in like ongoing shows, like they're not making a bunch of money selling autographs. It's like they're making money being on a TV show, but they still do it and go out of their way
for the fans,
meet the fans, you know. So good on you, celebrities. We appreciate you. But yeah, I hope we get Comic-Con next year. It's been 2 years. At the rate of people not getting the fucking vaccine, man. If you know, Joe Biden, just force people to fucking do it, all right? I'm trying to go to Comic-Con. Just fucking do the mask mandate. Man, or I mean the vaccine mandate. Just fucking do it. That's a good way to get a Republican in office. Good job, Christian. It's my body, my choice, except when it comes to abortion.
I was
playing a Republican there. Please don't at me.
I just don't fucking get it. Like, I don't remember people being pissed off like when you get your normal vaccines. I just don't fucking get it.
Right. Well, I think, you know, you and I kind of grew up in the last generation of normal people. You know what I mean? and I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, "Oh, I'm normal." First of all, no, you're not. Okay.
Let us meet you, and we'll point and give us 5 seconds.
Give us 5 minutes to get to know you, and we'll point out all the things wrong with you. That's what we're good at. But yeah, I think, you know, when I was growing up, it's like that was part of being a kid. Oh, you have to get X vaccine or this before you go to school. No one ever told me that there was an option to not do that. It didn't.
No, you just fucking did it.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. It was like, that's the rule. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, if that's the rule, then I'll do it. But now, you know, I feel like everyone wants to be, you know, they all want to be a special case. And they're like, well, you know, I would, but I actually don't believe in vaccines. I'm like, what do you mean you don't believe in them? They exist and they work.
You don't have to believe in that shit. Yeah. They're there.
Yeah, I don't believe the earth is round. Well, it is, so it's okay. You know, it doesn't depend on you believing on it for it to exist.
People having stupid thoughts or opinions, it's not going to affect the rest of the world. I don't care. That's fine. You think the earth is flat? That's fine. That's not going to affect my day-to-day process. You thinking the vaccine doesn't work is going to fucking affect me because I can't go to fucking Comic-Con.
Yeah. And
I guarantee you those fucking people get their dogs vaccinated. Like, I guarantee you they all have fucking rabies shots.
All their dogs just have worms.
Yeah, it's like, I don't fucking get it. Like,
their whole house is just like brown streaks from the dog just dragging its butt.
Fucking because he's got worms in his ass. Like, I just don't fucking get it.
That poor wormy dog. Yeah, I don't know. It's I think at some point, and I don't know when this happened, you know, maybe I'm only noticing it because now I'm turning into an old man with my habits and such, where except for the fact that I stay up till like 4 a.m. for some reason. But I started, you know, I just get angry about like all these young kids and what they're doing to the world. And I think that, I don't know when that happened.
What are they doing to the world, Cody?
They're not getting vaccinated.
Is it the young people?
I think a lot of it is.
You're talking about like 12-year-olds that can't do it?
No, not 12. Well, yeah, those guys are part of the problem. Kids under 12, fuck you.
Fucking super spreaders.
Brought it right back around to Shang-Chi. Fuck you, kids. No, I think a lot of it comes from the point where like everyone has to feel special, right? And I think that a lot of that comes from the internet age where people grew up on social media. There's millions of people on there with their picture and a little bio on Facebook. They need something to stand out, right? So they have a crazy opinion about vaccines, right? Or they have a crazy opinion on their political views, or that the Earth's flat, or whatever. And I think it's a defense mechanism for trying to stand out in a crowd.
So like, I'm super fucking average. I got to say some crazy shit or some dumb shit so people can notice me. Oh shit, people are noticing me.
Yeah. Oh, I love pedophiles. Oh, fuck.
And then you got fucking what's his name?
Simu Liu.
And he's a big fan of you after you said it.
I know. He loves it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I think it's leading us down a slippery slope. We can't all be special. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just leave it to us. We have the specialness, and you guys can admire us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. We need fry cooks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's an important job.
Not everyone could be a co-host of a fucking podcast or host one. We need listeners, all right? You're the listener.
Yeah, you're the listener. We're what we refer to in the industry as the talent. Just kidding, of course. But you're not special, so I'm not kidding about that. Yeah, it's very... it's a tough spot, and I think it's destructive when we get to things like where it actually matters, like the global situation that we're all in.
You know what it was, Cody? Participation trophies.
Oh yeah, don't get me started.
That's what fucking did it.
Yeah, I remember. I remember getting one in soccer when I actually played soccer. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I threw it on the ground.
There you go.
If you're
That's
not first,
character.
you're last. And then I wrote that and sent that into Will Ferrell, and he made a movie about it.
Yeah. Second place is the first loser.
Exactly. I think we'd all be a lot better off if we all came to the understanding that, whoa, race car outside. If we all came to the understanding that you don't have the right to be comfortable all the time. Sometimes things are uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to get shots, you know?
I thought you said sometimes you have to get shot. I'm like, whoa.
Sometimes you have to get shot. That's part of life, you know? Depending on where you live and what color your skin is. Just kidding. I think, you know, there are certain things you have to do for the good of all mankind, for the good of your neighbors, right?
Yeah,
like,
sometimes you got to take one for the team. Sometimes
you know, some people just want to pile up garbage in their backyard, but you shouldn't do that because then the raccoons are going to come into the neighborhood and they're going to fuck with all of your neighbor's stuff. So
I feel like that's definitely someone who didn't want the vaccine. Something they would fucking do.
For sure.
My backyard, my choice.
Yeah, my choice. I like to collect jars of all my old foodstuffs. I eat predominantly mayonnaise. Oh, good. Yeah, you know, sometimes you have to do something that you don't necessarily want to do for the good of all mankind.
Yeah, like get a fucking shot.
Yeah, like get the vaccine.
You think I wanted to get that shit? You think I wanted to stand?
Wear deodorant.
Yeah,
you know, that's for everyone.
I didn't want to stand 2 hours.
I realize it. If I had the choice, I would not. You know, I wouldn't wear deodorant. But I realize that as a man who sweats, you know, I have to do that for the people around me. You know,
some people like the smell though.
Those people need to be thrown off a cliff.
You want to smell the manliness.
You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. You know, there's certain things you don't do everything for yourself. You have to do things for others. Think about other people.
Aw, so nice.
Yeah, if you leave this episode with any message, that should be the one. That and, you know, Shang-Chi loves pedophiles. Just kidding.
No, he understands them.
He understands them on a deeper level than most of us.
That they have a genetic disorder like gay people.
Oh my God.
Not my words.
Not my words.
His words.
Oh God. Man, I'm definitely not advertising this episode. It's just gonna be
what?
Nerds with Friends gets canceled.
What? He said it. I didn't say it.
Just because I agree with him.
No.
Oh God. Hopefully everyone knows we're joking. If you made it this far, tell everyone else. tell everyone who's running.
I might have changed the words a little bit what he said, but the spirit of what he said was the same.
So bad. Oh my God. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Or actually, I did tell you before the podcast, but that doesn't count. I can't do this gesture on the microphone because then it actually cuts off my voice. I started playing that Kina in the Spirit Guide, whatever.
It's so good you can't remember the name.
Yeah, the name's not the best, but the important part is Kena, is Kena, the new PlayStation exclusive. But it is pretty fun. It's like playing a Pixar movie with like kind of like an Asian feel to it because it's all about spirit guides and you're finding like the masks and stuff like that to Bridge of Spirits. Sorry. You're finding like the masks of that protect the spirits when they're going to the afterlife.
That's the game.
Yes.
That's an indie game.
It is kind of.
It is fucking good for an indie game.
Yeah, it's only $40. Kena Bridge of Spirits, $40, and it's basically like kind of like playing a Pixar movie. Like all the characters are super cute.
She looks like the grown-up version of the little girl from Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah. Very much so. Yeah, they probably stole that. These are the little dudes. Look at them. They're called rots, and they have like, and you can part of the thing is you can buy them all different hats, and I love it. If you guys, it's out now on the PlayStation Store. I think it's a PlayStation exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. But it is really fun. It's kind of like a more relaxed like God of War as far as like the combat style.
Where you're not ripping people in half and shit.
You're definitely not ripping people in half and like, pulling people's heads off and stuff like that. You're just hitting them with your magic staff or whatever. But it's like, light attack, heavy attack, dodge roll, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And then you solve puzzles and stuff with your little rot buddies. They'll like pick up rocks and drag them over to areas and stuff.
Oh, rock or rot?
They are called rots, R-O-T,
Okay.
like rotting flesh or whatever.
Nice.
But I like you play like a spirit guide. Oh my God, rot hats. Yes. Yeah, look at all these little hats they can wear. I love them so much. Oh, look, someone labeled them all. Oh, I love the bunny one. Oh, so sick. But yeah,
you're way too of a burly dude to be like enjoying the cute things so much.
I love them so much. I love them. But yeah, you're basically trying to guide spirits to the afterlife kind of thing. So, it's one of those ways they make like a really family friendly thing. Oh my God, look at him. He's precious.
You need to put up images of it.
Yeah, I will. Check out our YouTube and I'll put some up on the Instagram too. Oh my God.
I'm curious what you do with all the pedophilia material we did.
Yeah. Well, if you've gotten this far, this is like a little reward for you. So you're like, oh, we stuck through all those very uncomfortable topics. Now we can talk about adorable little forest creatures. But yeah, it's a really fun game. And it's only $40, which is refreshing. The Life is Strange game, as much as I liked it, I talked about it last week. As much as I liked it, it still feels like a rip-off. The fact that
the amount of money.
I paid $60 to play a game that I got through in one night, essentially. So anyway. All right, guys. Well, sorry you had to deal with that episode.
I'm not.
Yeah, I think, let's have a civil discussion in the comments. And, if you want to take next week off, we understand. But just leave us playing.
Actually, yeah, the YouTube comments on this one with.
Oh yeah, I should just try to put a bunch of alt-right hashtags and just get people riled up.
Whatever gets us listens.
That's the most fun part about doing this podcast now is really just seeing how to like get people riled up. You know what I'm saying? Try to get those comments where people are like, "What the fuck? I can't believe that."
Even when we do it by accident with the He-Man ones. Like,
oh my God, that was so funny.
We were on the right side of that shit.
Yeah. Being a man is a genetic condition, just like being a woman. It's not controversial at all, but if you say it with enough conviction, it sounds kind of bad.
Actually,
we're
all born female and then change later.
Whatever. calm your tits. Thank you guys for listening and subscribing. We do appreciate it. You can make sure, let us know. I don't know. Let us know what you think of what we said. I mean, I don't think we said anything controversial. It was all these other people that we were quoting.
It was, what's his name who said it?
Simu Liu.
Yeah, he said it.
Direct all your anger towards him. And hashtag boycott Shang-Chi 2. Just kidding. Don't do that. I want to see that. I mean, and that's another thing too. You know, little topping on the cake. People change, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, it's like,
I don't think he diddles kids anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he ever diddled kids. I think he did a role.
He did a role where,
and he's. I just don't think he's a super smart guy. You know what I mean? And sometimes non-smart people say stupid stuff that get recorded on the internet, especially on Reddit where you're typing. I think isn't all typing?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't do Reddit. I'm too old for that shit.
We did a whole episode of how you don't do edit.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Reddit, sorry, edit.
I don't edit either. I say whatever I feel. But thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We do appreciate it. You can check out all of our internet's business at nerdswithfriendspodcast.com. Has all of our social medias on there as well.
Send us money through Patreon where we're going to use it to fight against pedophilia.
There you go. Yeah, well, this next month's proceeds will go to. There's got to be some sort of charity that's anti-pedophiles, right?
Yeah, wasn't it? What was that dude from? He was catching pedophiles all the time. To Catch a Predator. What's his
name? Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Fucking was it Chris something? What's
Chris Hansen.
Yeah, Chris Hansen.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it Chris Hansen?
Whatever.
Or is Chris Hansen one of those Fox guys?
I don't know.
Chris Hansen sounds like a
whatever
Fox
the hater guy was that was catching these pedophiles.
Yeah. Excuse me, Simu Liu? Yeah, that's me. What were you doing here tonight? What?
Dude, that would be a fucking episode.
That would be fucking great. Shang-Chi shows up and he's just like about to fight some ninjas. He's like, hey, why don't you have a seat? What is this? I thought I was getting the spirit stone back or whatever.
Isn't it crazy how this one dude have a seat and they always fucking do it?
Yeah.
There's never a guy. Nope. Like they just fucking leaves. Like,
oh fuck! I know you. It just bolts out a window.
Never happens.
I know.
He has this way of commanding people with his voice where they just fucking do it.
It's a genetic condition, Christian. You can't make fun of him. Oh god! And thank you to our patrons who provide money for the show. So if you really want someone to blame them.
Yeah, it's you guys are supporting us.
Their names are right here. You
support
can write
everything we say.
Write them all down. Christian, thanks for keeping me on track this episode. I guess. I mean,
it was fun. I like this one.
Yes, it's fine. I guess. To all the nerds out there, we're sorry. You're not alone. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you, and good night.
I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.